Shalom, Rabbi Reichman.
Boker Tov, good morning.
Boker Tov from Efrat. I'm Rabbi Barkin from the IMPJ, and we talked this morning about Rosh Hodesh, the beginning of the new month, as we read in our movement on Parashat Beha'alotcha, Uveyom Simchatchem, in the day you joy, Uvemoadeichem, in the day that you celebrate, in your holidays, Uverashei Chodshechem, in the new months, Utka'atem b'chatzotzrot, and then you blow the trumpets, you blow the shofar. Maybe this is not the traditional reading that the Orthodox movement is still holding.
Indeed not. No, we read from Parashat Pinchas in the same book, but about the offerings on Rosh Hodesh, how the offerings on Rosh Hodesh are different than regular days. A special day Rosh Hodesh offerings, which includes an interesting offering called Chatat.
Cleansing.
Yes. And the pasuk says, "Useiri zim echad lechatat ladonai." We bring a cleansing offering, if you will, on God's behalf.
And the Talmud talks about this passage, doesn't it? Special mentioning in the Talmud about that.
Absolutely, in a very daring way, if you will. God asks us to bring a cleansing offering on His behalf. Because he cut the moon down to size, right? We have
in Genesis we read about the two lights, which they are comparable.
Two large lights,
two large lights, comparable,
if you will, right? Okay.
And then you find out later on that the moon is a smaller light, hameora katan, rather than the sun that is hameora
smaller size, and right. So on that, because God cut the moon down to size, if you will, we men bring an offering on His behalf. It's a fascinating concept that, I mean, again, the Talmud dares to...
it's a revolutionary approach of the Talmud, isn't it?
You would guess so.
Yes.
Man brings an offering on behalf of God. I mean,
of God's mistakes, or on behalf of God's
or in
change.
hindsight his mistakes. Yeah, okay, I have a little difficult with that.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, Abi, it's a great opportunity for us to talk about the two calendars. The lunar calendar and the solar calendar, which in a leap year, we bring them back together. So the cultural calendar, which works with the moon, with a lunar calendar, can coincide with the general, with the cosmic.
So the seasons always come at the same kind of time.
Exactly. So Pesach, which we celebrate in 2 months, will always be in the spring.
Okay. That's the merging of the two calendars.
That's true, and that's what the
7 times in 19 years.
Yeah, well, it's always very complicated to remember that, but yes, 7 times in 19 years.
Cycles.
Yes.
Sun.
And then, well, what do? We add 1 month. We add the month of Adar, Adar alef, to the cycle, and then we make sure.
It's the last month of the year.
Yes, Adar is the last.
We squeeze it in the last month of. Well, it's actually not the land. It becomes a month before the end, right? Because Adar Bet is the one that's...
Yeah, but how come Adar is the last month of the year? We start from Tishrei, and then Elul is the last month of the year, isn't it?
I think you know what? I'd rather that we relate to it at another time and talk about the new year as a Jewish year and the new year as a, if you will, universal year.
Universal year.
Tishrei being universal, Nisan being the Jewish, but we'll relate to that some other time.
So what we try to do in a philosophic way, A.B., is we manage to bring together two cultures, the solar culture and the lunar cultures together, and we find a compromise. And interestingly enough,
I would not call it a compromise, I'd call it an interface, an integration. It's not just compromising.
I love your approach. Right. I love the word interface. I love integration. Because what we found out today, this morning, is that finally, after I don't know how many years, tens of years, or maybe hundreds of years, there is an egalitarian section at the Western Wall that is agreed by the government and all the Jewish streams in Israel, so people can find themselves.
I think we can only say, wow.
Yes, well, women of the wall,
women
right?
Of the wall, yeah.
Exactly.
It's a great idea. Okay.
So,
and may it be.
Maybe, well, we'll
see. The interface.
We'll see later.
Brings to Adar and Simcha.
Yeah, when Adar comes, we rejoice, right? Next time we meet, we'll talk about Adar Bet, and we'll talk about a leap year, and the fact that a month or a year can be pregnant. Stay tuned.